Chef Corry,
What's going on, my guy?
how you doing?
Well, I can't complain, man. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Glad to have you on here.
I appreciate the invite, man.
Anytime,
Appreciate it.
anytime you're welcome on the Swamp Report, man. I'm really excited to have you.
Likewise, man. Always down to chop it up with fellow Gators about everything that's going on, Gator sports, man. It's a pleasure, man. So I appreciate the invite, man.
Yeah, man, anytime. So let's jump right into it. Um, you know, we're going to talk about, different things today, what the Gators have cooking up. But I got my first question I want to personally ask you. Have you ever eaten at Spurrier's?
Oh yeah. I ate there a couple times. I don't eat. I'm not a red meat eater, so haven't had the steak, so I can't give you a review on the steak. But had some sides and appetizers there. We was there for the Lagway Foundation kickoff as well. Me and the whole Stadium and Gale crew. But upstairs, the visor, like everything. I like Spurs, man. It's a good vibe. Drinks
Yeah,
are good. Staff, service. It's a legit establishment. Must stop if you're in Gainesville.
yeah, I completely agree, man. I had one of the best steaks in my life there, and you know, the salad there was really good. I mean, Steve Spurrier's a legend, so you gotta, show some love and put some money in the man's pocket. So
Absolutely, man. It's just a lot of Gator just memorabilia throughout the place, man. So
yeah,
it's well decorated, well schemed out. Like I love themed out. I would say I love the place, man.
yeah, I agree. It's definitely it's a Gator heaven basically. So
For sure.
yep. So everything's changing for us in 2026. A lot of it seems to be really good. I'm excited about that. So how do you feel about all the new coaching hires, and is there anyone that especially sticks out to you?
I like this staff. I think it's a solid staff. Offensive coordinator sticks out. I was a big fan of what Faulkner did at Georgia Tech. I thought he did a good job and overachieved as far as the talent that they had. In the ACC, they turned a lot of heads early on with Brent Key and them dudes. So Faulkner is definitely the biggest name I would say on the staff and that stands out. I think he did a great job of hiring South Florida guys. He's reading the room well. So bringing on South Florida guys, Coach Cam at receiver, Brandon at DB, and you can see a lot of the fruits of that labor starting to pay off a little bit with some of the recruiting buzz that we're getting in South Florida. But top to bottom, I think it's a very solid staff. Like it's still, some guys stepped up from a level that it was at. Brandon Harris hasn't coached at this type of program, but he has great pedigree.
Yeah,
You know, um, he's well thought of as far as like a coach. So the future looks good, man. You gotta see because you're putting different staffs together, so you gotta see how it all mesh. But I think it's a solid staff on paper.
yeah, I totally agree. Faulkner is that's who I'm excited about too. He won the number one OC award. That was pretty cool. So, that was something that our last coach could not do. He tried to get
Right,
Charlie Weiss from Ole Miss, and that didn't work out. And it's like he gave up after that.
right.
So
I don't even know how substantial or the effort to bring him in if that was a real thing, man. But on forward to the new staff, yeah, offensive coordinator, whoever was coming in, offensive coordinator, and a good play caller had to be, a thing. So I think he answered the bell with that one.
right. No, I totally agree. That's our strongest point right now. I mean, they say he wants to be a head coach, at some point, and that's definitely the best place to go. One of the best places to go is to Florida, and put up some really good numbers and blow up an offense like Steve Spurrier, loves, have a ton of points and everything. And that's the perfect, coaching resume for you right there. Is 3 or 4 years at Florida as offensive coordinator. Next step, go on, be a big head coach if you want to be.
Right, right, no doubt.
But I mean,
Another platform, man. If you're a coordinator, you can make it happen. Any glimpse of success as a coordinator in Gainesville usually turns into a head coaching job.
right, right. You're totally right about that. So, as far as the Gators, do you think we have a chance of making the playoffs in the first year with John Summerall?
I just wouldn't. It's just I wouldn't put those type of expectations. My expectations is around 8 or 9 wins, man. Could it happen? Yeah, it could happen. I like skill position at the receiver room. We brought in a ton of talent. I think we got one of the best receiver rooms in the country on paper. But just a lot. It's just a line of scrimmage. Just watching the playoffs this past year and the last couple of years, it's just such a line of scrimmage dominated thing. And we haven't really upgraded a ton, I would say, in the offensive line talent. I like Phil Trotwin, another guy who I would have like 1B as far as staff hires that how I rank them. But I don't know defensive line wise, offensive line wise, if we have those guys to be able to compete, to make the playoffs. To be honest with you, it's a lot to be determined.
No, I agree, and that is a lot of expectations, and we need to stop doing that to players and coaches right off the rip. Like we tend to hype them up. Myself, I'm bad about that, and I'm starting to kind of step back. I mean, we really had to get this hire right. It's been uh, coach after coach after coach after coach. The only really solid long run we had was Spurrier. I mean, of success. So hopefully we can get another guy like that, or maybe college football is just changing more to an NFL thing, to where if you get 4 or 5 years out of a head coach, you did good.
Yeah, I think. I mean, you get a guy like Summerall who seems like he's gonna be if he's successful. He seems like a college guy. He don't strike me as an NFL head coach. So if he's successful, you may have your Kirby Smart, right, where he's there for a while, not really looking to jump pro. Some of these college coaches are fine with just staying in college. I think Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame is a guy that got a ton of pro interest right now that he's not even entertaining. So I think if Summerall is successful, he's a guy that'll be here for a while, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. No, that's what it seems like. I mean, as far as on Twitter, he's saying all the right things, and I'm sure you saw where someone had asked him, how long does he intend to stay, and he was like a long time. So that was
Yeah,
pretty
for sure.
that was pretty cool. So, um,
Yeah, it's one of the biggest jobs in the country, man. So you can only imagine like not there's not many more jumps that you can go to like, to upgrade your situation as far as a head coach. So and then the University of Florida is thirsty for that next Urban Meyer. So if you got some buzz and the support from the program, the boosters, and everything else, it doesn't really make sense to jump for another job. Spurrier at that time has just seen it all. Like
yeah,
it was fit for Spurrier to go looking for something else. And Urban was his own. He kind of made his bed with a lot of situations with his regime when he was there. So stepping away made sense too in hindsight. But yeah, I think Summerall, if he come in and do things like he's supposed to, he'll be here a while. At
yeah.
least a decade coach. Yeah.
No, I agree, and it's crazy when you think about it. I've kind of looked at it and said, well, Summerall don't have that much head coaching experience, but that's actually not that accurate. He's got 6 seasons at head coach, where when Urban Meyer arrived at Florida, he only had 4 seasons as a head coach. So,
Right.
so he's got more experience than I thought. So that but Urban, he's a one of a kind guy. But hopefully, we can get this kid. This I don't know why I want to call him a kid, but he just looks so young, and he gets the players looking like they're ready to run through a wall. He almost broke a recruit's sternum the other day when he dabbed him up and everything. I loved that. So he's got the energy and the intensity for sure.
For sure.
So
Yeah, no, big energy. He's gonna be a rah rah coach. I say a players coach. I like the energy.
we
I
needed
like
it.
his presser. Like I just gotta see it all, man. I'm me in my fandom. We've been through a roller coaster ride, Gators fans. So I'm not gonna get too high or too low. I just want to, give these guys the grace to be successful or whatever they're gonna be without a lot of expectations and a lot of hype. So I'm just letting it all play out. I know we'll eventually probably talk some talent acquisition and recruiting and all that on here, but I just want to let it play out before I just go, fanatic to we're back.
Right.
The
No.
Gators are back.
No.
We're far from that, man.
Right, I agree 100%, man. And that's totally the way we gotta, do this is just piece by piece, brick by brick. But I don't want to hear the word patience, like that.
No, that's dead.
Yeah, that's the past, and I don't want to hear that. So, um, as far as playmakers on offense and defense, who do you think our two top playmakers are? Just two, of your favorite playmakers on offense and defense.
Offense, I gotta go. You just gotta be healthy, but I gotta go Dallas Wilson, Jaden Ball.
Oh
We
my
got guys
God.
on offense, man. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. Like it's in the skill position, running back. I like Duke at running back as well. I like the transfer. I'm forgetting his name that they brought in a running back. I think we got a nice running back room. I love our receiver room. Singleton coming in is just crazy. Vernell Brown. Uh, Everybody's not as high on Michael Mays Jr. I know that kid just from being locally here in Palm Beach and his family and what he brings to the table with track speed, size. Coming from Wake Forest, he didn't put up crazy numbers, but that offense was horrible, and they didn't have a quarterback out there. So I expect him to take it up a notch as well. But it's going to be pure competition in that wide receiver room. I don't think the drop off is big from 1 to 2 if there's a drop off. So I don't think wide receiver was an issue last year. So like I'm not really saying much, right? Like I thought our receiver room was talented last year. We had some supercars,
Yeah,
Ferraris, and everything. It just didn't work out. So
couldn't stay on the
we're
field.
back as far as same talent level, skill position is back, right?
Yeah,
It's, to me, it's gonna come down to quarterback play, and then offense and defensive line trenches. But back to your question, so those are my playmakers on offense, defense. Of course, Jaden Woods. I think he's the best player on the team.
yeah.
Like until proven otherwise, I think Jaden Woods is our best player, like hands down. And I think he's going to be one of those leaders. Who else on defense do I like? Miles Graham.
Oh man,
Just sideline to sideline, just an animal.
bro, you
Total
took.
leader.
I'm gonna sound like a fanboy or something, but you totally took the two that I was ready to list as well. I was gonna be like Dallas Wilson and Jaden, and then Woods and Graham. So that just speaks, that's the players that are lighting it up. Miles Graham, man, he ends up all over the field. That boy works.
Yeah, to me, he's by far the best linebacker on that squad. A lot of them came. Aaron Child, they brought in a lot. I like those other guys. I
Yeah, of
wouldn't mind
course.
if we had gotten another linebacker, right? I gotta see Aaron Childs get better. James Robinson is solid, but Miles Graham is head and shoulders better than both of those guys. I think he could play. Come down here in the run game. If it's a passing situation, he covers well, gets sideline to sideline, really good. A bona fide leader. Like Miles Graham is how you build a linebacker for University of Florida, man. If you got to build one.
Right. No, that's true. And honestly, he's one of the most, exciting linebackers that we've had in a long time. Like I said, his youth and the way he just flies around the field, man, it's exciting to watch. So
For sure, for sure.
Alrighty. So I was checking to see if we had any questions at the moment, and we're getting comments, but I'm not seeing a bunch of questions. So, um, also, because I've got questions for you. Like I said, I like what you do. We're like minded on a lot of things. Um, what about the schedule? Do you think the schedule this season is easier than the past two seasons that we've had? And
For sure,
yeah,
for
I agree.
sure,
Yeah,
man. Like
that one's
we had like Billy was a bad coach, but he also he have no
no
favor with
help.
that scheduling, man.
Yeah,
No help whatsoever. So he had a gauntlet to get through with 7 plays on offense.
yeah.
But now this schedule is set up, beautifully. I would say for like a first year coach to kind of figure out and get his feet settled.
Okay. And you kind of touched on the other part of the question. It was like, how many games do you expect the Gators to win? You were saying, 8 would probably be what you would expect the first year.
Yeah, I think that should always be, the mark, right? If
Yeah.
it's a rebuild, whatever it may be in Gainesville, there's always going to be enough talent to win 8 games. And if you fall below that mark, then, in my opinion, I think you've not lived up to expectations because there's always talent at Florida to win 8 games. And if you're watching, like Coach Signetti changed everything, right? As far as turnarounds and rebuilds, like this dude come in right away and got busy in the playoffs and then won one. So, and then what the transfer portal is, how many guys you can bring in. You can go buy a championship team literally every offseason. So, rebuilding is a thing of the past. I don't think a rebuild is a thing. You either competing for the playoffs or you're not, because next year you could possibly lose another 25 guys in the portal and then you rebuild them again. So, like, there's no such thing as a rebuild in today's football. You either equipping your team in the offseason to make a playoff run or you're not.
Right.
That's the way I see it. Some people may have a different opinion, but that's the way I see it in 2026.
Yeah. I feel like, obviously you don't have to win your conference to get into the playoffs, but I just feel like, for to be successful, you've got to win your conference and to win, get in the playoffs at the very least. So that's what I'm,
Absolutely.
yeah, where I'm at with it. So now I know we haven't even started like spring ball yet, but I'm just curious how you're feeling about, the roster moving forward.
I think the roster overall is solid. I think it's an 8 win roster with me not knowing how developed and how much better the offensive line is going to be. Um, and outside of Jay Woods, I'm not high on our pass rush, right? Like the last couple of years, I thought we've been solid on D line. And I think we've been better at defensive tackle with the Caleb Bankses of the world and then Cam Jacksons of the world. Like our defensive tackle development has been solid with Chapman. But from a pass rush, it's been a while since we had a bona fide, Dante Fowler, Polite, whoever it may be. Our edge and getting to the passer has been mediocre, So secondary wise, it's the same thing, right? I want to see Dijon be a little bit healthier. Safety play, I got to see that improve vastly. Castell's going. Bryce Thornton is still there. I think Lagonza has a higher ceiling than maybe a Thornton. Like
Yeah.
like does he pass him and he starts alongside the guy we bring in from Kentucky? I don't know, but I think the defense wise it could be solid again, but I don't know if we got the guys to go dominate and pass rush to get the amount of sacks, turnovers, etc. So I
Yeah.
think it's about an 8 win roster, man. The trenches is where I got the most questions at. Like, how good are we going to be on both line of scrimmages?
Right. And then I guess, a little bit of it would be questioning, the experience of the quarterbacks is my only other thing. Um, but I'm not,
I was trying to avoid that a little bit, man, but you said it.
yeah. I mean, I'm not knocking them. I think both have a really good opportunity, to be really good. But I was just saying that neither one have a lot of in-game experience, and that could be, damaging in the SEC. But hopefully, they'll get coached up quick, and Trammell has shown that he can be thrown into in-game situation, which that was not really a true test of anything, but and I've seen you know Philo do a little bit, and he has really good footwork and everything, and has a nice ball release. I'm not sure how deep he can get the ball, but I'm excited about seeing that competition and how it unfolds. So
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a competition, man. I hate to break it to y'all, but I don't think it's gonna be a true competition. Philo's coming over from Georgia Tech as a hand-picked guy that's already know the system. He's gonna be getting paid more. All of that, bro. Like politics and business plays a part in football. I think it's gonna be Philo's job to lose.
right,
You know, like from just a skill standpoint, everything even. I like Trammell to give him everything, as far as a battle, real battle. I think, like, talent wise, Trammell arm strength may be, he may have a stronger arm.
yeah, I think he's got the
I think he's a
stronger arm in
better
my opinion
athlete.
too.
Yeah, he's a better athlete with his feet, right?
Yeah,
Um, don't sleep on Trammell in this, right? So if Philo comes in, he's slipping. I think Trammell, has the type of mind. He's a smart kid, right?
yeah,
He's gonna pick the playbook up, but just to keep it just football. Anybody that's been around this game with some type of common sense, they know that a 2 year head start on the playbook, handpicked guy from the Georgia Tech offense. Like he didn't leave Georgia Tech without promises.
right.
Like he was guaranteed something. He had a starting job over there, bro. He didn't come over here just to be
No, you're right.
QB
You're
for
100%
Trammell.
right. You're
Yeah.
saying things that I've said and think in my mind and things like that. It's just, I try to like keep it neutral with them. I wanna believe that Trammell does have a little bit of a chance. And when I've talked to a lot of high school coaches and stuff like that, and they say that Will Griffin's just not there yet, but it would be cool just to see how a true freshman come out there and do his thing. So I guess we'll just have to see how the competition goes all together. But like you said, Philo knows the system and everything better than anybody. So he's definitely got the upper hand with coming with the coach and everything. So, my next question for you, Corey, is do you think Florida is in a place with its NIL and overall funding to compete for a national championship in the next 4 years?
Broke up a little bit for me. I can't hear you.
Okay. So, um, do you think Florida is in a place with its NIL and overall funding to compete for a national championship in the next 4 years?
Can you say it again? You broke up for me. I'm sorry, man.
Just basically about the NIL. Do you think that we are in a place with our NIL and funds that we could compete for a national championship in the next 4 years? Because to me, it's all about what you're spending, it seems.
Yeah. How I see it, right, is we did a good job retaining, and like I don't want to but most schools did a good job retaining.
Yeah,
Like retaining your talent, your best players is what most schools did. Like, and I'm not saying that he shouldn't get credit for it. Of course, Summerall should get credit for retaining his top players, but most schools are doing that. Like around the country, they're keeping their best players.
yeah,
So outside of the best players, when you get past that, I'm looking at like, and that's why one of my gripes is this line of scrimmage. Like, how many line of scrimmage guys did we really beat out the top programs for? And the top ranked guys, I don't see us being very aggressive with those top premier players in the portal.
yeah,
And that's just being like, I'm frustrated as a Gator fan over the years, man, of just seeing us do the bare minimum, being in the middle of the pack, like, and even in high school recruiting we're around 10 to 15.
right.
Transfer portal recruiting around 10 to 15. Some people may think that's good enough to go make a title run, but no. When I look at Lane Kiffin, who just got a new job, just like Summerall,
Yeah.
it looks like they're more invested in when trying to win right now.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I think you can buy a national championship team every
Yep.
single offseason.
Yep.
Do I think that we just did that? No. It
No.
looks like we're still doing a rebuild, old school approach to football, and I don't know. I don't think that's how the game works now. I think you got to be aggressive because everybody on your roster may not be there next year. Like
Right.
there's no guarantee what your roster is going to be next year. So Like what rebuild? You don't even know who's going to be back. Like we were just on pins and needles about the best two players on our team,
Right.
Jaden Woods and Jaden Ball. So like who knows what our roster is going to be next year? So we
That's
can't
true.
count on
No, that's a good
who's
point.
going to be on this roster next year. So you gotta every year you gotta go by the you gotta go get the best players at every position that you can afford. And if money ain't an issue, then you look like LSU, Texas Tech, those type
Indiana.
programs,
Indiana's got money.
Indiana,
Yeah. Mark
because they
Cuban.
got Mark Cuban. Yeah, bro.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah. They bought a lot
even
of
my
that.
brothers down in Miami, man. Like we can't you can't discredit like those type of boosters with $1 billion money that is
Right.
with the shenanigans. Like they want to go win, and they're down. Hey, go find the best quarterback you can. We'll payroll it. You know, we'll fund it. You need boosters like that in today's football. But just being average and just want to fill the stands is I hate. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer as a Gator
No, you're
fan,
not.
but it doesn't feel like we're trying to go make a championship run.
No.
It feels
I,
like we're just trying to be good enough.
Right, and that's where my frustration comes. Online I'll be saying some, out of pocket stuff sometimes, but it's just, it does hurt to look over and you see Lane Kiffin getting Jordan Seaton and two 5-star quarterbacks, and now I kind of understand why he went that direction, if that's actually why he went that direction, but it's just,
Well, that's
they,
definitely why.
yeah, exactly, and they have so
You
much
can't
money.
convince me otherwise.
Right, and it's just all the money that was at his disposal now, and it's the same way over in Indiana with Mark Cuban, and like you said, Texas Tech, all the Texas teams have the oil money, so it's really about what you're going to spend now. That you can actually buy championships, you just got to have the right coach, and enough
That's true.
money. So
You gotta have coaching still matters. Like we're not gonna discredit that. Like coaching still matters, but when you're at these premier programs like what we're talking about, like you should have a legitimate coach. Now we could talk about that as well. Like University of Florida has been going out to like high risk guys, I would say.
yeah,
And when I say that, I think the high risk guys are guys coming from G5. They pose a higher risk just from a learning curve perspective. They haven't coached at this level, so that makes degree of difficulty a little bit tougher than going to get a Lane Kiffin.
right.
So we've been going out to up and comers and guys with that worked with Steve Spurrier and Urban. And Urban wasn't no up and comer. Urban was the guy. He was a home run. The golden child at that time. That everybody we beat Notre Dame for.
Yeah.
But it just don't seem like we're hiring aggressive like that to try to go win a natty as well. From the total standpoint, like you were just saying earlier, I think Lane. I don't believe we was ever in it for Lane, man. Like
Yeah.
I think Lane was gonna go to who was down to payroll him a playoff roster and be very aggressive with talent acquisition.
He
I
wants
don't
a
think Florida
ship.
was ever gonna do that.
Yeah, he wants a ship, man. He's tired of playing around. So, I mean, respect to that. I mean, you got to, if you want to be great, that's what you got to do. It's take your best. I mean, a lot of people, say that they would not, transfer away from their team and things like that. But it's hard. It's easy to say that, but a lot of people leave their jobs every day, for more money and things. It's about opportunities and things like that. So I don't hate on it. And as far as the Indiana situation, like a lot of people like to play that down to, oh, he did that all with 3 stars and stuff like that, but that's not true. There was 4 stars on that team, and there were some very experienced players that I'm sure they had to put some money on. Because just because you're not a 5-star rated player does not mean you still can't be a great player.
Yeah, nah, there was only a couple $1 million off from with Miami. I think it was like
Yeah,
Indiana was 22, and I think Miami was 24 million when they was doing like the NIL. I'm sorry, not NIL, transfer portal uh, money that was spent by each program. It was something like that, but they weren't far off. Like everybody got Miami pinned as this paymaster that just paid for talent, but Indiana was in that same bracket as far
thank
as like
you.
what they were spending.
Yeah, because I
And
get
then
people,
once they got success, they doubled down. They went crazy this
right.
year.
Yeah, because I got people arguing with me about that all the time. They're like, Florida's got way more money than Indiana, and Indiana spent nothing, and look what they've got. They've just got a great coach. It all comes down to coach, and so as long as we got Summerall, we're good. Things like that. So it is what it is. But I got a couple more questions for you. I'm gonna try to keep this one brief today because I might have to make a little trip here in a little bit to go pick up some workout equipment for my son. But who is your all-time favorite Florida Gator?
Ah, man, that's always a tough one, and I got. I kind of mix it up. Like Tebow's always gonna be just my guy because he gave me some great Gator memories, brother. Like we went on a run. I talked my biggest smack to my friends and everybody else that knew me at that time.
You
Just
never
great
thought you were
times,
gonna
bro.
lose.
Never.
I,
Anytime we were on the field, I felt like, bro, like we about to have fun. This is about to be, magic, and and just a show.
exactly.
Offensively, what Dan Mullen was dialing up, like from every part of the field, special teams, running back, receiver, tight end, the deep, everywhere on the field, it was just blocking kicks, returning kicks, everything was just magic. But Fred Taylor is from my neighborhood, man, and one of the reasons, I wouldn't say the reason, but a major reason why I'm a Gator fanatic, bro.
Yeah.
I got to watch Fred play in high school as a kid. I watched him play,
Yeah, he's one of my
and then
favorites.
yeah, he became a Gator, and then he went to the Jags. I'm a fan of all three of those. From Glade Central to UF to Jacksonville, I'm a fan of all three of those. So Fred Taylor is one of my favorite football players, man,
Yeah.
just for that reason.
I mean, honestly, it's blowing me away because Tim Tebow was going to be my answer because Tim Tebow, like I was saying, every time that we had a matchup coming up, I never felt like we were going to lose. I wish that Hard Rock was out back then. I would have put everything I could on it. And other than that, I'm the same way. I loved Fred Taylor. I watched him play and I followed him to Jacksonville. They were expansion team, so it was really cool to see. So, and here's another one that's kind of similar to the other one, but this one's kind of just funny. If you could go back in time with a time machine and bring back your favorite Florida head coach to coach the Gators indefinitely, who would that be?
Old ball coach, baby.
Yes,
One of my
sir.
black earners, old ball coach, baby.
Yeah,
That's the goat,
that
man.
yeah, that is the
Yeah.
goat, and the
I
way he
always say this on Stadium McGill. I always say Steve Spurrier raised me, man. Like the points, bro. You talk about like knowing you about Mississippi State, those schools like that. We've been to put 100 on you, man. Like they
exactly,
may not. It's about to go crazy.
and he was gonna talk trash the whole way too.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. And say how much better we could have done. Like we left points on the
oh
table,
yeah,
man.
when we it's funny when he
Crazy.
would get mad when we would have a pretty extreme victory. It was always comical at the end. His like, well, we could have did this or whatever, and I loved him going back and forth with Bobby Bowden. And do you remember the game? Of course you do, but where they were hitting Danny Werfel late to the echo of the whistle every play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then uh, basically, Werfel was just getting killed, but he kept getting up, kept getting up, kept getting up, and then next thing you know, we got the rematch, in I believe it was the Sugar Bowl, and
For sure.
and we got them 52-20, and that to me was when it kind of separated the men from the boys with Bobby Bowden and Steve Spurrier. Like they both had the same amount of time to prepare, and y'all just had to cheat to just barely, pull off a victory against Florida, and then they let them run it back to back, and Florida just creams them. I mean, you had Ike Hilliard, Riedel Anthony, just stopping on a dime, and I mean, Werfel just dropping it over their shoulders. I mean, uh, I'm not sure if Jaquez was on that same team at that time. He was a few years maybe around, but he might have been on that same title team. It's hard to remember right now, but
Who? You said Riedel?
Jaquez Green.
Yeah, yeah. Quez was there. Five was there.
Okay,
Yeah.
we had a a legit receiver core then, man. And Ike Hilliard went on, to the NFL. So did Riedel. I think wasn't it Hilliard going to the Giants and Riedel going to the Bucks?
That's the greatest wide receiver core of all time, right there, my boy.
Yeah, I agree, bro.
For sure. Yeah.
I agree, man. And we got something similar brewing right now, man. Dallas Wilson, he's a freak. We got a Singleton, Brown. I mean, if these quarterbacks can get on the ball, it's on. So, Chef, I really appreciate you coming on the show today. It means a lot to me. Like I said, I'm a fan. My last question for you, because I'm not sure that I will be. I'm trying everything I can to be. But will you be at this year's spring game?
I'm trying to be. Spring games are always tough for me because it's my wife's birthday week every single time, man. So it's on the 11th. It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna try to make it, man.
Okay.
No promises, but
no, I got you.
Depending on what type of plans the wife is having, but if she don't have anything too crazy, we're not traveling or anything like that. We're keeping it local. I'll be there, but if we traveling, then I can't make it. But I definitely want to be there for the first spring game, this new regime. So I'm gonna try my best to.
All right, awesome. Well, hopefully I'll catch you there, and tell some people where they can find you online.
You can find my legal name, man, Corry A Nose on every app. Facebook. Actually, Facebook is Corry Nose because my old account I couldn't get back into it, so I had to create a new one a few years ago. But Corry Nose on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, is Corry A Nose. And then Stadium and Gale, where you can find me for everything Gator, content, podcast, etc.
And when does Stadium and Gale come on usually?
Monday nights around 7 p.m.
Okay.
Ish.
So all right.
We're a little late, we're a little early, but around 7 p.m.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm going to try to check that out myself soon because I'm usually working around that time. So I haven't actually caught an episode yet, but definitely going to do it. But I just wanted to thank you again for coming on the show. I've got to do some of my sponsors now, so you're free to go, my man. But I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for coming on the show, man.
No problem, man. Anytime, bro. Like, I'm always down to talk Gator sports, man. Gators, look out for Gators, man. I appreciate you for inviting me.
Yeah, man. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
All right, bro. Hopefully see you at the spring game.
Yeah, man. We're going to see, man. I'm going to try to make it, bro. If so, we're going to link up.
All right. Sounds good, Corry. Have a good day, man.
Likewise, Chris.
All right. Bye, bro. All right, guys. So now I have to give you my sponsors. We have the Mobile Strength Company. As far as the Mobile Strength Company, if you're not familiar with them, they're out of Panama City, Florida, and they're a really cool company concept. A really nice gentleman named Tim O'Connor runs it, and he'll come to you. I'm about to share one of his meals that looks delicious to Tim himself, but I'm not a big turkey guy. But hey, if you want results, you want to be lean, you got to do what you got to do. So I just posted a link that you guys should check out with that, because he is a definite good trainer, and his rates are reasonable, and you have no better time to start right now so you can get ready for the beach here in Panama City Beach. And finally, my next sponsor is Northwest Florida Pole Barns. You can reach them at 850-326-4626. That's 850-326-4626. And I'm going to do the same thing with him. I'm about to share his information on my Facebook. And definitely check it out. But I want to appreciate and thank every one of you guys for sticking by me and coming and watching the show tonight. I am definitely looking forward to the 2026 football season. And don't forget, our Florida Gators college basketball season's heating up right now. We can bounce back on a win, and because we just took a L, but we blew South Carolina out, so hopefully we can keep that going. So get ready for March Madness. The Gators are going to be there. Um, but yeah, check out the sponsors on my page as well. But again, Gator Nation, I just want to thank you all for listening to the Swamp Report. It's been fun. It's been real. I appreciate y'all for coming. And as always, you know what time it is. The Chomp and go Gators.